o'clock. CVM News at 7 headlines Thursday, brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, ambulance crisis in Negril. Person of interest named in Westmoreland corpse saga. JMEA appoints first female president and the problem with low voter turnout. While in sports, vision for Independence Park unveiled.
CVM News at 7 headlines Thursday, brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy.
Should critical illness strike? Don't let worry fill your head. Say hello to happiness and goodbye to worry with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan. Secure your medical expenses in the event of critical illness ahead of time, while benefiting from our investment portfolio and so much more. Give yourself and your family the peace of mind you deserve with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan today. And live secure, live easy.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Thursday, July 17, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks so much for joining us. Residents in the tourist town of Negril are renewing their cries for a functioning ambulance after months of being left without one. They say lives are being lost while they struggle to transport the injured and ill to the hospital miles away in Savanna-la-Mar. Raymond Morrison has that story.
Negril is best known for its white sand beaches and thriving tourism industry. But for locals, life and death can hang in the balance when an emergency hits. Residents say they have been without a functional ambulance for months, ever since the last of 3 donated vehicles met an unfortunate end. Each was involved in separate road crashes, leaving them beyond repair. The damaged ambulances now sit in a corner of the Negril fire station, a symbol, residents say, of their increasingly desperate situation. While the Savanna-la-Mar Hospital more than 20 miles away, injured persons are often left stranded while loved ones scramble for transportation. The ambulances that once served the Negril were driven by firefighters, not hospital staff, and this is where officials say the confusion begins.
I am unclear about the veracity of the news item that was broadcasted because currently at the Savanna-la-Mar Public General Hospital, we have 3 functional ambulances. And I must add that our ambulance services continue to be augmented by private contractors of such ambulance services as well.
The Westmoreland Public Health Services now plans to launch a campaign to educate the public on how ambulance services function. Until then, residents say they remain vulnerable, left to rely on private vehicles and prayers during medical emergencies. Raymond, Morrison, CVM News.
Another political billboard has been tampered with, this time in St. Thomas Eastern, and the incident has sparked outrage from the People's National Party caretaker for the area, who is calling for calm on both sides of the political divide. Our reporter is Akeem Oret.
The flames of political rivalry appear to be reigniting, this time in St. Thomas Eastern, where a campaign billboard for the People's National Party has reportedly been defaced. The party's caretaker for the constituency is pointing fingers, describing the act as one fueled by jealousy.
I know that it is an act of envy. I have much to lose because St. Thomas is my home. I was born here. I was raised here. Right? And I am sure that the candidate for the Jamaica Labour Party does not even have a distant cousin living in St. Thomas.
Shaw is appealing to the Jamaica Labour Party JLP supporters in the area to stand down and refrain from this kind of behaviour. I
am therefore calling on the candidate, the Member of Parliament, Ms. Charles, to desist and ask her supporters to desist from carrying out this act of vandalism. She is also urging her own supporters not to retaliate, emphasizing the importance of civility and peace in the lead up to elections. Let us not retaliate. I reported the matter to the police. Let the police deal with it. This latest incident follows similar occurrences across the island, raising concern about growing political tensions ahead of the next general election. Akeem Oret, CVM News.
A new era has begun for Jamaica's manufacturing and export sector as the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, the JMEA, elected its first female president at its annual general meeting. Catherine Silvera, an esteemed industry leader, has taken the helm following the 2-year tenure of Sydney Thwaites. The transition comes at a critical time for the sector, which continues to expand its regional and global footprint. Raymond Morrison has more.
The business community gathered at the summit on Chelsea Avenue yesterday for the 2025 annual general meeting of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JMEA, marking a significant moment in its history. For the first time since the association's inception, a woman now holds the organization's top leadership post.
Having been a part of this dynamic association for over 15 years and serving on the executive for the last 6, I've seen firsthand the strength, resilience, and innovation of our members. It is this experience that fuels my commitment to advancing the goals of our association and advocating for the growth and global competitiveness of our manufacturing and export sectors. As I take on this role, I would like to outline a few strategic priorities that I believe must be at the forefront of our agenda. These priorities are not just ideals. They are actionable goals that, with your collaboration, can transform the landscape of our industry.
Catherine Silvera is a seasoned business executive with over a decade of experience in strategic marketing, brand management, and sales. She currently serves as Director of Sales and Marketing at Chase E. Ramson Limited and as a Director of Caribbean Foods Limited, producers of Fosca Oats. In her first address as President, Silvera called for a broader push toward data-driven industry growth.
Globally, industries are built and rebuilt on data. In the era of artificial intelligence, automation, and predictive analytics, data is not just useful, it is foundational to competitiveness, innovation, and economic growth. Yet here in Jamaica, we continue to lag behind in collecting and sharing meaningful data about our productive sectors. For far too long, we've struggled to gather consistent, reliable industry data, from manufacturing output and export capacity to employment figures and supply chain linkages. As a result, our ability to advocate effectively, whether for trade agreements, investment incentives, or public policy, is often undermined by the absence of hard evidence.
She also pointed to the country's booming tourism industry as a platform for inclusive economic growth.
Jamaica's tourism sector is on the verge of a major transformation, with approximately 20,000 new hotel rooms projected over the next 5 to 10 years, This expansion presents a once-in-a-generation opportunity to restructure how tourism growth translates into national wealth and industry development. This opportunity must not be squandered. We must ensure that as foreign direct investment flows into our tourism sector, it also flows into our local industry. From the moment a resort is conceptualized to when it opens its doors to visitors, Jamaican manufacturers, creatives, farmers, and skilled professionals must be deeply embedded within the supply chain.
Silvera takes over from Sidney Thwaites, who led the association through a period of strategic growth, diplomatic outreach, and export expansion.
I didn't expect to find a committed group of entrepreneurs. I didn't expect to find our larger members who, let's be honest, they need us less than we need them. But they commit to a movement in the sector. I didn't expect to find alignment from different perspectives. There are different ways to approach a problem, and there are things that we can learn from our smallest member as we walk their floor and hear their challenges.
Under Thwaites' leadership, the association secured regional tariff protections, hosted 2 Manufacture 360 conferences, and delivered a record-breaking Expo Jamaica 2025, while leading trade missions across Latin America, North America, and the Caribbean.
The support we got from the government agencies, the willingness to listen, our discussions with JAMPRO, our discussions with MIC, our discussions with agriculture, there was a willingness to listen. And we had some hard conversations and some consistent conversations, but we never felt like we were being ignored. And for that, I'm very grateful. I'm proud to have represented not only my country, but my sector.
Executive Director Kamisha Blake reaffirmed the mission of JMEA to champion the interests of its members while advancing national development.
Over the past year, we have taken decisive steps to further strengthen the organization, from deepening our impact in policy to increasing our operating efficiency, to building a culture of service to support you, our members. Let me just remind you quickly, the JMEA is 7 years. However, the JMA is 78 years, and our mission and vision remains the same. It is to serve you, our valuable members, ensuring that you contribute to the economic development of Jamaica through advocacy, technical support, and especially marketing of your products in the international market.
The event also saw the election of new officers and board members, reinforcing the association's commitment to community and innovation. As the JMEA looks to the future, its new president is tasked with navigating a complex, fast-changing economic landscape while building stronger linkages across sectors. With renewed energy, new leadership, and an ambitious agenda, the industry now sets its sight on higher standards, stronger partnerships, and greater global impact. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
CVM News at 7 continues in a moment.
Remix the summer with Digicel. 100 lucky winners win $100,000 each, plus surprises all summer. To enter, buy a SIM 7-day plan or higher, switch to Digicel. Be an active postpaid or Digicel Plus customer, or receive US $15 or more from abroad. Gift a friend a plan. They could win $25,000. Remix the summer with Digicel. Authorized under Section 58 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promo ends September 15, 2025. Conditions apply. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for more info. Digicel, better connected this summer.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace and Singer.
From politics to global events, from social issues to breaking news, Lead Story Prime dives deeper, cuts through the noise, and uncovers the stories that shape your world. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Lead Story Prime with me, George Davis, for an hour of incisive analysis, expert interviews, and unparalleled coverage of the issues you care about. Lead Story Prime, your front row seat to the most compelling discussions. Lead Story Prime, where the truth comes first. Only on CVM TV.
Thanks so much for staying with us. The St. Catherine teen and her months-old niece, who were reported missing for over a week, have been found. CVM News understands the person with whom the 14-year-old was staying saw our report and was unaware of what had happened. Contact was made to a family member and the police were alerted, and both children picked up from a location in the parish. The minor has been reunited with her parents. However, the young girl is undergoing evaluation at a facility. Both mothers have expressed relief that their loved ones are safe and have committed to support their younger relative. With the general election drawing near, the spotlight is on voter participation. In recent years, voter turnout has reached a low point, raising questions about public trust in elected leaders and the effectiveness of political representation. So what's been driving this disconnect? Carla Ramdeen has more in this report.
No vote. Vote not help no one.
Why you say that?
Only when they want to give a vote, you see them. When they want help, you don't see none of them. So, no vote.
In the last general election, only 37.8% of eligible voters casted their ballots. Research fellow Talisis at the University of the West Indies, Mona, Dr. Stephen Johnson, explains that this is problematic as it indicates that the minority is making decisions for the majority.
But based on a recent study that we have done here at Talisis, what we find is that the older voters are more inclined to vote. And that's usually a universal trend. But nonetheless, it doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot try to engage, like, for example, Gen Z or millennials or Gen X. But what you find is that voter turnout among this cohort is exceptionally low.
Dr. Johnson says part of the issue is linked to political distrust. He explains that some politicians fail to keep their promises, adding it is the duty of citizens to be aware of government procurement processes.
Some of it is driven by ignorance because government procurement process, it takes a very long time. But when a politician goes on the platform and say, okay, I'm going to give you X, but it's going to take a very long time. You know what? You're not going to want to hear from him, especially when your opposition or your opponent is promising to get it to you now. So again, this is the source of the distrust.
We took to the streets to gauge voting intent among the electorate in Halfway Tree St. Andrew.
I'm going to vote for the People National Party. I don't say nothing about Andrew Jones' party. Right? Andrew Jones, I do female, my party, I'm my party. I not vote because I look a slice of bread. I just like the party. I'm see the party I got the right way, I vote. If I not got the right way, I not vote.
I show mama from my barn. My granny I show her, so I have to set the trend. I just grew up barn I show her. Now change.
People should vote. However, I am just not sure what I'm voting for right now. There have been some changes, some improvement and so on, but the behavior of the members of parliament and the persons in government, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
Senator and disabilities advocate Professor Floyd Morris is welcoming the People's National Party's promise to provide housing for persons with disabilities should the party form the next government. Senator Morris, who was the first visually impaired person to serve as Senate President, says the proposal is not a political gimmick, but part of the party's ongoing support for the disabled community. Zor Grant has the details.
PNP Senator and disabilities advocate Professor Floyd Morris is backing the party's recent commitment to provide housing solutions for persons with disabilities if elected.
We are always working and giving support to persons with disabilities. A lot more needs to be done. And what we have now is a leader who is extremely sensitive to persons with disabilities because he grew amongst persons with disabilities at the Mona Rehabilitation Center. So, that is going to be an added benefit.
He says the proposal reflects the PNP's long-standing commitment to advocacy and inclusion for persons with disabilities. He welcomed opposition leader Mark Golding's recent announcement of a disabilities fund, which he believes will provide much-needed support to the community.
That is why he has said he's going to be establishing a dedicated fund, the National Disability Fund, to be financed by the budget, to assist persons with disabilities.
Senator Morris says the fund will provide vital support to students at the tertiary level who require financial assistance and assistive technology.
We are committed to assisting them through that fund. There are persons with disabilities that need assistive technology for work and employment.
While it's a major concern that this announcement may be politically motivated, Morris dismissed the suggestion, adding it's about special needs people.
This policy is not an election gimmick because we have announced this plan certainly earlier in the year. It's that we have been timing when we make announcements of our policy approaches.
He points to the PNP's past record of delivering for the disabilities community as proof of its commitment.
Legislation to protect the rights of persons with disabilities was established by us in 2014. The whole issue of establishing social protection mechanism to assist persons with disabilities, those on path, and ensuring that we have a mechanism that in the public service.
Zor Grant reporting for CVM News.
You're watching CVM News at 7. Stay with us.
Truth is, HIV affects everyone. Truth is, avoiding care leads to a weaker immune system. That means you could get really sick. The truth is, the hardest pill to swallow isn't the medication. It's the problems that follow when you don't take them. Let's get through this together. Remain in care. You can live life to the fullest with HIV. And that's the truth. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Remix the summer with Digicel. 100 lucky winners win $100,000 each, plus surprises all summer. To enter, buy a SIM, 7-day plan or higher, switch to Digicel. Be an active postpaid or Digicel Plus customer, or receive US $15 or more from abroad. Gift a friend a plan. They could win $25,000. Remix the summer with Digicel. Authorized under Section 58 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promo ends September 15, 2025. Conditions apply. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for more info. Digicel, better.
Welcome back to CVM News at 7. A Jamaican man who lives overseas has been named as a person of interest by the police as investigators weave through a web of illegal activities surrounding death, preservation, and a subsequent partial illegal burial of a Westmoreland woman inside a house. Charges have been laid against 2 women so far as the ungodly scheme thickens. Curlin Brown picks up that story.
Social media has its ups and its downs when it comes to seemingly leaving a trail of sorts. How ironic. Laverne Wedderburn, the second woman named by the Constabulary Communication Network CCN with charges leveled against her in the case of the Little London mummified body, turns out to be a Facebook friend on the page of a clergyman named as a person of interest in the matter. The CCN says, along with 54-year-old Gina Robinson from Little London, 49-year-old Laverne Wedderburn, who is from Sheffield, also in Westmoreland, have been charged with concealment of a corpse, preventing the lawful burial of a corpse, perverting the course of justice, conspiracy to concealment of a corpse, and conspiracy to prevent the lawful burial of a corpse. Of note, in one of CVM's earlier reports, John Robinson, who identified Gina as his daughter, also naming her Novelette Novi, married French, was in touch with a prophet who lives overseas.
On one occasion, she said the boyfriend said she look this a lot, but then can build up one church. You may get to understand, so in America.
Okay.
In name Dera, I only know his name as Dera, your boyfriend. Say my prophet.
In that same conversation, the senior Robinson alleged his daughter was being influenced by the said prophet, a title he used interchangeably with one of an intimate nature.
She speaks fluently. She walk and go where she wants to fluently, and she talk fluently. And so I didn't see no reaction. She say, well, she crazy. But all this time, she the boyfriend control her head in a sense that anything the boyfriend say, she do.
He referenced the shocking exchanges facing a man days before unearthing the secret buried inside the house he was overseeing for years. A visible paper makeshift headstone missed, like the expected resurrection they all anticipated when the lady died.
He said, "Me can't touch it. Because if I touch it, it's not going to happen to me." Me say, so she called her boyfriend then on video call. And the boyfriend want to talk to me, say, I got business, and anyhow me touch me or couple, and then we dry you out, but it's not going to happen to me.
Well, the police have listed the man of interest's address, Colorado, USA. His name, Delroy Jones, a Jamaican national. We found a Delroy Jones on Facebook, incidentally with posts dated December 2023, the year of Miss Destin's death, that reads, Apostolics of Jamaica, what is about to happen in Little London, Westmoreland, is the mighty work Jesus sent me to do. Other posts in December 2023 says, Lazarus, come forth. Another begins, thus saith the resurrection and the life, Little London, Westmoreland. Among those in 2024, in part, then shall they know a prophet has been among them. Now, among those in early July, a paragraph, when summarized, every word written on this Facebook page will be read by millions. Well, the women have given caution statements and confessed to the roles they played in a morbid act. While they await a court date, will the male person of interest come forth? Curlin Brown, CVM News.
Stay with us because there's so much more to come after the break.
Deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace and Singer.
50 years of finger-licking good memories, yeah.
The time by KFC is
7:30.
Denby Show 71. The Jamaica Agricultural Society, in association with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, presents Denby 71, August 1 to 3, 2025. Denby Showgrounds, Mape and Clarendon. It's a family affair, from livestock competitions, agricultural displays, National Farm Queen competition, Kiddies Village, Health and Wellness Village, and much more. Closing the show is the High Pro Denby Gospel Extravaganza. Admission adults 1,500, children 600 at the gate. Denby 71, August 1 to 3. You don't want to miss this.
Thanks so much for staying with us. The police in Manchester were saluted by the community members of Caledonia Road for their quick response and action to a reported stolen vehicle on Tuesday afternoon. The owner reportedly brought her vehicle to a car wash and received a call that her car was no longer there. We hear more from Crystal Williams.
Police them respond so quick. I mean, I tell you, Jamaican police, I have nothing bad to say about them again.
A black Honda Stepwagon was reportedly stolen from a car wash in Mape and Clarendon. The vehicle's owner reportedly left it around 3 in the afternoon. The vehicle was reportedly removed from the premises by an attendant who did not return. The police used the vehicle's tracker to intercept the stolen vehicle along Caledonia Road in Manchester. The 3 men found in connection to the theft allegedly fired shots at the police. One of the men was apprehended and the police are still searching for the other 2. Inspector Simon McCormack, sub-officer in charge of the Mandeville Police Station, commended the Manchester Police for the downward trend in the parish's crime rate.
The chances of eluding the police is quite minimal. The police are actively engaged in operational activities in the space, and we are taking a zero-tolerance approach to these type of activities.
Crystal Williams, CVM News.
Over now to regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development Dr. Kennedy Sarath has revealed that some of his country's critical government agencies are operating at a fraction of their required staff, from customs to the police service. He said the numbers are alarming and can no longer be ignored. TTT News has that report.
Minister Sarath noted that these shortages are not just numbers, but symptoms of a system that has been neglected.
Everywhere you look around, we are facing over and over again a depleted, so that when people criticize, especially when you look around and you say that the public service this or the public service that, let me tell you something. This is no longer a space where we have not invested in our people, we have not invested in technology, we have not invested in alternate ways of engaging with government. For far too long, we have all sat down and accepted the status quo.
And Minister Sarath also expressed frustration at the lack of progress since his last tenure.
I remember piloting a piece of legislation in 2008, 2009, data protection, electronic transactions. And I am back here 15 years, 16, 17 years later. And it's as if nothing's changed.
Barbados and its Caribbean neighbours are working to strengthen and improve the region's hurricane forecasting capabilities as part of the 2025 International Challenger Mission project. An ocean glider, an unmanned underwater vehicle used for ocean science, was deployed 10 kilometres offshore. The details from CBC News, Barbados.
Over the last probably 10 years or so, the Institute has been getting more and more into marine science. Recognizing the importance of marine science to the economies of the region, the food security of the region, job security in the region, and the need to improve marine forecasting. And so part of improving marine forecasting is really understanding marine science and supporting research, which leads to improved forecasting products across the region. So the Institute has been supporting quite a number of marine forecasting initiatives. And this helps us now to build stronger that science base underpinning the marine forecasting that we're doing.
And the reason we're doing this is because of hurricanes. And so this robot will join a fleet of robots. It'll join a fleet of robots that are distributed across the entire Caribbean.
And in international news, 16 and 17-year-olds would be able to vote at the next UK general election under government plans to lower the voting age. The pledge is part of a raft of measures being introduced through a new elections bill. Other changes include expanding forms of voter ID to include UK-based bank cards, moving towards automatic voter registration, and tightening rules on political donations to protect against foreign interference. The BBC has that report.
How old should you have to be able to vote in a general election? Last year, Labour pledged to lower the age for all UK elections to 16. That had already happened for some votes in Scotland and Wales. And today, ministers have said they hope the change will be in place by the time of the next general election, expected in 4 years.
This is a seismic change in terms of how our democracy works and giving young people a say in the future of our politics and our country.
But it's not without controversy. The Liberal Democrats have long been in favour of the move, but Reform say you shouldn't be able to vote if you're not old enough to be a candidate, and the Conservatives aren't happy either.
Why does this government think a 16-year-old can vote, but not be allowed to buy a lottery ticket, an alcoholic drink, marry or go to war, or even stand in the elections they're voting in? Isn't the government's position on the age of majority just hopelessly confused?
And that's it for regional and international news.
Stay with us for sports after the break.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard, and the music keeps on playing, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't fit it down. Shine your lights
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace